Sunny.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Rox, and this is
Literature on the Rocks.
And I have goofy ass friends.
That intro is worthy of a YouTube watch, just so y'all know. It was worth.
I think we need a choreographed dance to our intro.
Yes.
You guys just wiggling and Rox just sitting here.
But I feel like
You could sit in the center and we'll dance around you.
Oh my God.
Rachel's looking up old lyrics because we sing everything, and we were like, "What are the rest of the lyrics to that song? We don't remember." And they've been very surprising.
Yes.
But even the lyrics we have known from our past, if my child was singing it
Like
at our
what?
age, I'd be like,
Like what?
Why are you so aggressive?
I don't know. I'm ready to type. Like what?
No,
like,
well, let's...
back seat, windows.
Oh, well, we
yeah.
knew
I like
Ludacris.
to fuck, right?
was that song
Also,
even
I
called?
feel like we
Liquor's
listened to
Paradise?
Lick you from
Fantasy?
your head to fantasy.
I feel like we've listened to a lot of radio edited versions.
Yes.
And then
But we had LimeWire in our day. We got the raw. The raw.
the raw songs full of viruses.
So we were singing, ooh, she wally wally, ooh, she bang bang, ooh.
Anyways, the Uchi Wally Wally song by the Bravehearts. Foul as fuck.
Yeah.
Right in the second chorus, he really, really fucked my coochie. He really, really turned me out. He really, really got to gut me. He really, really made me scream and shout. Last one, the last three, not terrible. I mean, I don't want to be gutted, or do I?
I don't want to be gutted.
Sounds like something Rachel would like.
It does sound like...
But then you get into the actual verses.
He's talking about his 9-inch or something nail. Because it's thin.
Oh, how my dick stretch your insides.
Oh
For
my
real, ma.
Ma, no.
With your thick lips and thick thighs. Stroke both holes. Pass it to Nas or pass it to Nace, or he's passing you around to all of his friends. Then that ass getting tossed. Then he's licking it. Nasty. This line is wild. Who approved these lyrics? In the middle of the second verse, he hit her where she duty. Can't even say it without laughing. He hit her where she duty at. Who approved this?
Hey, hun, you want to hit me where I duty at?
Okay.
Wow. How were...
Let them titties hang.
Where were the feminists at when this song came out?
In the club dancing. Oochie by the way. Oochie baby.
Just throwing it back.
When Henny's in my dick, which first of all, did you inject it? Did you dip it in the bottle? Like, how did Henny get in your
Dip it in
dick?
the bottle.
Actually, that's not that bad.
When Flex dropped the bomb, I bust a nut on this bitch. Deep throat, Caesar Gold, or pun wicked hose.
Do you know what? I will have to say, I think I understand why my family was like, what? What are you listening to?
Yeah.
Right?
And we were like,
We had no idea what we were really listening to.
I
Don't
pull
clip
out
that
my
part.
python. I hit it while my wife's gone. Long dick that bitch all night long. I'll make
this
her
is a
pussy sing the song, and then her pussy goes oochie wally wally. Is that what this is?
that's the sound of,
And that's what you guys, we've all been singing, you guys.
We're
singing
the sounds of the
puss.
cooch.
Oh my God.
The orchestra de puss.
I can't believe
That is a crazy, those are some crazy lyrics.
Yes. And
I definitely did not know. I only knew.
I just remember the oochie wally, and I knew it said pussy at some point, but I didn't know
And
how often and how voracious.
they're talking about gangbanging this little girl.
Well, no, they're talking about hoes
I mean, they're
that are
getting-
okay with getting thrown around to
Are
other
they
men.
though? How do you know?
I don't
I don't
know.
hear consent in those lyrics.
was this a P. Diddy party? Speaking of dark matter. Yeah, so we are going to deep dive Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Rox, do you want to hit us with an author bio?
All right, so Blake Crouch is a best-selling American author born in North Carolina. He originally studied English and creative writing at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill before pursuing a career as a novelist. Interestingly, Crouch didn't start his career in science fiction at all. His first published novel, Desert Places, was released in 2004 and was a dark psychological thriller centered around a serial killer. Much of his early work lived firmly in the crime and suspense drama. What I found was interesting is that Crouch didn't really leave thrillers behind when he transitioned into science fiction. Through books like Wayward Pines, Dark Matter, he mentioned in previous interviews that science fiction gave him the opportunity to explore subjects he was genuinely curious about, from quantum mechanics and consciousness to technology and the nature of reality itself. He has spoken about how much he enjoyed researching these topics, essentially allowing himself to keep learning while doing the thing he loved most, which is telling thrilling stories. In many ways, science fiction has become a vehicle for both his curiosity and his creativity. His breakthrough came with the Wayward Pines trilogy, which was later adapted into a television series, but it was Dark Matter that truly launched him into mainstream success. What makes his work so relevant to many is his ability to weave big ideas into stories that are ultimately about people. Beneath the science, his books often explore themes of identity, family, regret, ambition, and the choices that define us. Today, Crouch lives in Colorado with his family, and when he's not writing, a lot of his time is spent with his 3 children, getting outdoors, traveling. He enjoys mountain biking, hiking, skiing, fly fishing, and taking his dog into the mountains. He also has talked about how his travel helps him break through creative ruts and often inspires settings and ideas that eventually find their way into his books.
What a cool freaking
Life he leads.
job. Not career. Yeah, job. Like, be like, I'm really stuck. Do you know what would be great that would get me unstuck? I need to go to Greece.
Yeah. He's just, so it's kind of cool. It
Yeah,
just
it's
helps him
cool.
have a fresher outlook on his new project.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, give us a summary of Dark Matter.
So imagine being given the chance to see every version of your life that could have existed if you had made different choices, and then having to decide which one you actually want. Dark Matter follows Jason Dessen, a physics professor living a relatively ordinary life in Chicago. Everything changes one night when he's abducted by a masked stranger and wakes up in a world that looks almost identical to his own, but isn't. As Jason fights to find his way back to his life, he is pulled into a mind-bending journey through alternate realities where every decision creates a new possibility. Part sci-fi thriller, part love story, and part exploration of identity, Dark Matter is a fast-paced novel that asks whether success, ambition, and achievement are really worth it if they cost us the people we love. Dark Matter.
Okay, so let's talk about our cocktail. We're calling this the Observer's Dose. Please inject responsibly. Obviously, a nod to the ampules, the drug they had to take to enter the box, which we'll get into. The drink includes 1.5 ounces of bourbon, 3/4 of an ounce Luxardo maraschino liqueur, 3/4 of an ounce fresh lemon juice, a 1/2 ounce blackberry syrup, 2 dashes of orange bitters, and an egg white. Dry shake it and pour that bitch into a cup with ice.
It's really pretty.
It is really
It
pretty.
is.
It is a good color.
Cheers.
Strong.
That's some bourbon.
That is definitely strong.
It's looking
It's
it's a
good.
little deceiving. It looks like it's a fruitier cocktail than what it actually is.
Yes.
Yeah. That
Yes.
bourbon gets you. Ooh.
Yeah.
It is warm,
It
but
is.
it does have a very, I thought, because originally it was suggested to pour some of the blackberry syrup on top and like make a design. And I'm like, well, we already have so much blackberry syrup and it's going to be too sweet. And I was like, we don't need that.
Maybe it did need it.
Maybe it
could.
did. This is definitely not sweet at all. It's tasty.
Like it's not as thick as honey, so I feel like it would just, yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's just very bourbon forward. For
It
It's
is.
definitely bourbon.
But it does have a nice, like, the blackberry and the cherry afterward that's very soft.
All right.
Yeah, but no, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
Not my favorite.
It's
but
not my
good.
favorite, but good.
You know, I love an egg white. The
I do like it.
frothiness of the egg white, I feel like if it didn't have the frothiness, it would be less delicious.
Yeah, the flavors are not bad. It's just definitely more bourbon forward than I anticipated.
It's a heavy drink.
But once you go into it, knowing what to expect, better.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a good comment because now that I've had second and third sips, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
First one was jarring.
Yeah. All right, well, let's jump into these chumpies. Mine are chapters 1 through 3, which the chapters are pretty long.
Yeah, there was only 15 chapters,
you know
at
what?
least in my audiobook.
I didn't mind it this
No,
time
it didn't
because not all of them were hella long. Some
Yes.
were like 20 minutes. So, and it was
Which
a
were still,
faster
they're
pace.
still kind of long for a typical book,
Yeah,
right? I feel like
yeah.
a lot of chapters are like 10 minutes, whatever.
Yeah, that's true. It didn't feel like
not.
it was
I
being
don't know.
drug out
It
either,
didn't.
though.
It
Yeah,
didn't.
there was a lot going on in every chapter.
Okay.
Nice. All right, let's jump into this. So, the story is about a man named Jason. He's a small college physicist. He makes dinner with his wife, Daniela, and their 14-year-old son, Charlie. As he and his wife talk about their choice of raising a family over having big careers, him, a potential Nobel Prize winner, and Daniela, an artist, Jason's former roommate, Ryan Holder, won a prestigious award and invited him to celebrate at a nearby bar. So it's funny because they're like, the scene opens, they are a happy family, and like, Daniela is a little bit tipsy, drunk, and she's like, "Oh yes, oh, so and so has an art exhibit today, right?" And like they're kind of sassy, fun. And then he talks about Ryan Holder, his friend from college, winning this prestigious award. And Daniela convinces Jason to go and asks him to bring ice cream home, but she's like, "Go for 45 minutes." Who do you? I would never leave the house for 45 minutes.
Serious, that included going there and back.
Yes.
So meaning he would have been there for all of maybe 30 minutes tops.
Yeah, if it was
He
down the
didn't want to
street.
go anyway.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he's walking, so like
Because it was like down the street on the corner or something. The bar.
but
It
it's
was his
still
local
crazy.
bar.
Oh,
like-
because that's what convinced her. And she was like, "Don't go if you don't want to." And then he's like, "Oh, it's at this bar." And she's like, "That's your bar,
Yeah.
Jason."
yeah.
Just
She's
go
like, "Just
for
go."
45 minutes and come back. We'll have dinner ready. It'll be ready when you get back.
Which I just thought was so strange. I don't even go to the grocery store for that short of amount of time.
I mean, depending. If I'm going in for one thing, I could be there and back in 45 minutes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Like,
right.
I just need lettuce. So I'm going in, grabbing lettuce, coming right back out.
yeah, but that's like, I guess I'm like, hey, congratulations. See you next time.
But that's
is
kind of all
essentially
he
what-
wanted
yeah.
to do.
Yeah. All right. Which basically he does. He goes to the bar. Ryan and Jason share a drink. And Ryan kind of goads him, saying that he could have changed the world with his discoveries, but he chose to leave it all behind and start this family with Daniela.
Now you got this small, tiny life, you sad little man.
Yeah, and he kind of messes with him. And Jason's like, yeah, I didn't really want to be here anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm going to go. He gets angry and he leaves.
Like leaves this Macallan 25 or whatever, this
Yeah.
expensive
It was a
liquor.
nice scotch.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yes.
he leaves it and like, okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah, like, this was a good time. Peace. While walking home, a man in a geisha mask confronts him with a gun. He forces Jason into an SUV and tells him to drive to a destination listed in the GPS. And he notices that the GPS's history also has Jason's home address and like his school address. Like he's like, this man has been watching me. Mm-hmm. They drive south to an abandoned warehouse, and the man tells Jason he has studied his life. Jason recognizes his voice, but he just can't seem to place it. The man makes Jason take off his clothes. They enter a building that's filled with rotting furniture and trash. And the whole time the man's like, oh, good, we got to the destination, because if you wanted to do anything, the time to do it was in the car. So glad you didn't try anything.
Yes.
Let's go. They enter a building. It's filled with rotting furniture and trash. Jason begs to be freed, but the man shoves his gun in Jason's mouth and orders him to keep moving. They make it to a metal staircase, and the man injects something into Jason. When they reach the bottom of the stairs, he orders Jason to change into new clothes. So the man asks him if he is happy in life. And inebriated Jason shares he wasn't in love with Daniela when she first became pregnant. Yeah, when Daniela first became pregnant, he was on the verge of a breakthrough, but their son needed lots of medical attention, and he chose to be a dad and chose Daniela. His first year, Jason says he never regretted staying with Daniela. The man apologizes for scaring Jason, but says there was no other way to get him here. And then the man tells Jason he can have everything he never had, and then injects him with something into his arm, and Jason passes out. Jason wakes as he's being lifted onto a gurney. He's being addressed as Dr. Dessen. He asks how he got out of the box. He's wheeled around a large facility when a man in a hazmat suit congratulates him and welcomes him back. Jason doesn't know who this man is. His name is Leighton Vance, but he also doesn't know where he is. Leighton moves him into a glass chamber, calling him a test subject. Cold mist from the vents blasts Jason, burning his skin. Jason is then moved to a padded cell with a bed and change of clothes. Leighton tells him to relax while they get his blood work results. Jason struggles to remember details of the previous night. He can't remember why he left his house. And then the blood work reveals no toxic contamination, so they escort Jason to the second floor. Amanda Lucas begins Jason's debriefing. Outside an observation window, a team is watching. Amanda tells Jason, and they're treating him like he's royalty, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, you're back, master. No. But they do treat him like just the best thing that they have, like so appreciative of everything. And they're very respectful, and they're very like, we want to know everything you went through. Thank you so much, right? And then Amanda's trying to like debrief him, and all these people are like, applauding
Standing
him.
and applauding him.
And yeah, and so then she tells Jason that he's been gone for 14 months. Jason remembers the bar and being attacked, and his vital signs start to spike. He tries to excuse himself and asks to use the restroom. Leighton leads him up 2 flights to ground level past a door that reads Velocity Laboratories. He's taken to Leighton's private office where he can use the restroom, and Leighton's like, I think we're friends. And he talks to, Leighton talks to Jason a little bit. Jason goes into the bathroom. He locks the bathroom door. And as soon as they Leighton hears the door lock, he's like, Jason, open up, right? And then he escapes through a window. He runs down an alley and to a park. After catching his breath, he walks a mile through empty streets, and people are definitely chasing him or looking for him. He flags down a cab and offers twice the rate to take him to his brownstone home. He only has a certain amount of cash on him, and he's like, I got to make this last, but here, dude. Take me home. The cabbie reluctantly agrees because and it's an off-duty cab. He's like, I'm not working anymore. I'm going home. And he's like, I'll pay you whatever. Just take my money, take me home. And then the cab's even like, this is so far away. This is across town. And he's like, just do it. He's like, fine, I'll do it.
Do you want me to take you to the hospital? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
Take me home.
Yeah. Jason finds his house empty and remodeled. A sketch on the wall has the signature Daniela Vargas, but there is no traces of him or his family. Even where his family photo would be hanging, it's missing. Everything's
off.
It's definitely his, but it's not really his. Okay,
Clean.
Daniela is my wife. Her art is hanging.
But why is it her maiden name on this piece?
Yes, and there's things that are his or recognized as his, but they're not his with family, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I think the family picture was them at this place, and instead the picture is just an
place.
artistic shot of the place.
Right, yes. He finds a Pavia prize in his bedroom. He dials Daniela's cell phone, and a strange man answers. He then hears footsteps. He calls this man a couple times, and the guy's like, it's the middle of the night. It's a kind of a bad hour, right? He's like,
It's 2 or 3 in the morning.
he should be sleeping, and he's calling this number over. He's like, I know my wife's phone number. It has to be this. And the man's like, don't call me again.
But at first he's like, where's Daniela? And he's like, there's nobody here. It's just me.
So he then hears footsteps, and Leighton and his men have arrived at the house. Leighton tries to coax Jason out, but fails. And Jason locks himself in the bathroom and dives down the laundry chute, which he knows he can do because he was played with his son through that laundry chute. But then there's no laundry at the bottom to catch it. So, and then he escapes through the back door and into a neighbor's backyard, and he hides in a shed. Once the coast is clear, he heads to Mercy Hospital thinking he has a brain tumor. He's like, something is definitely wrong. In the emergency room, Jason is examined by a doctor. He's questioned about his background and drug use because he seems like a drug addict. He notices and he's got a puncture wound, right?
2 puncture wounds.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, how'd you get these? And he's like, last night.
Yeah. And so he doesn't really remember. He's like, and even some of the things he says, I know I'm married, but my family's not there, and it's not really my house, but it is my house. And it's they're like,
you're hallucinating, sir.
For sure, something's going on with him. Give me an MRI. I know I have a brain tumor.
Scan my brain.
Yeah.
Something's not right.
Yeah. So he's questioned about this drug use. He notices his wedding ring is gone, but he still has an indent on his ring finger from where his wedding ring used to be, which tells him I know I was married. I can see there's this mark here. He's moved to a private room and wonders how there are no traces of his marriage and his identity.
And then we jump into chapters 4 to 6. We switch to a present tense narration, and the narrator is now recounting Jason coming home from the bar as if the abduction never happened. Daniela's washing the dishes and is upset for Jason being gone for nearly 3 hours.
It's almost from Daniela's perspective.
Kind of, yeah. Daniela accuses him. She's like, because he comes over and he wraps his arms around her and he's so happy to see her. And she's like, what? Did you get drunk at the bar and some little hot thing was flirting with you and now you want to come home all horny and aroused?
Yeah.
And he tells her he was almost hit by a cab and it made him realize how thankful he is for his life.
Which he was truly, in the story, he was almost hit by a cab.
But it wasn't a big deal. It was just oh,
they
shit.
didn't. And he was like, ooh, that was nervous. That made me nervous. What? That's crazy. And he goes to walk away and they're like, get in the SUV.
Yeah.
Yes.
They go to the bathroom and make passionate love, and Daniela realizes she hasn't felt this kind of giddy love in a long time. So back into like the main Jason's narration, it's morning at Mercy Hospital, and a new doctor is discussing the brain scan results. They were all normal, but they found ketamine and an unidentified psychoactive drug in his tox screen, and she asks him about his personal details again, and then tells him, like, we've looked all over Chicago, and your wife does not exist. There is no Daniela Dessen. Mm-hmm. And she's like, however, we did find you on Wikipedia. And Jason's like, I have no idea that there's a Wikipedia page about me. It's like, Jason has many accolades and was very successful in his career, but he hasn't been seen publicly in over a year. The doctor's like, we called the police and they're going to transfer you to psychiatric hospital. And he's like, what if I don't want that? And she's like, yeah, it's not optional, Jason. Mm-hmm. I am legally allowed to hold you. But he's not on a locked psych ward. So she leaves and he slips into an elevator down the lobby and out the hospital. He's like, that was so easy to get out of here. He checks into a hotel and using the phone book, he tries to find his wife using her maiden name. And he finds a number, but is taken to her voicemail. Before he leaves, he ties a thread from the curtain around his ring finger to remind him that his life and marriage were real. Because he's starting to get confused. Like, am I really dying? Yeah. Did I dream up this wonderful life that I never had?
But he's like holding on to the fact that there's a mark on my hand. I know that I used to have a ring on this finger.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So walking towards Daniela's address, he sees a flyer for her art gallery exhibit. And then that evening he goes to it. Seeing Daniela, he approaches her and she recognizes him.
Like immediately.
Yeah. And she's like, oh my God, I haven't seen you.
Throws her arms around him in excitement.
Yes. Ryan approaches and then puts his arm around Daniela. They are together. And Ryan starts accusing Jason of using him. He's like, oh, I made that compound for you and your fancy friends, and then you just ditch me. Mm-hmm. And then Jason changes the subject, and they switch and start talking about Daniela, like him and Daniela's relationship, and Jason gets jealous that they are together.
Daniela obviously has some sort of attachment to him because this whole art exhibit is
about him.
About him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But also when he walks up to her, he's like, where's Charlie? And she's like, who is Charlie?
Yeah, she's like, I don't know Charlie.
Yes. Yeah. The three go back to Daniela's apartment, and after smoking some weed, she brings up, like, you mentioned Charlie. Who is that? He tells her, and the news that they had a son.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but like, you guys have to hear me out.
Mm-hmm. Well, he tells them about like a hypothetical scenario that he and Daniela stayed married, and she gets all teary-eyed because she's like, I was pregnant and we had an abortion. Like, this isn't our life together. We don't live that life. Ryan gets upset that he's honing in on his girl and he leaves. So Daniela and Jason talk about their breakup.
Yeah, Ryan almost is like, you had this wonderful life where you're the hero in these people's stories. You're a fabulous scientist. You've gotten all these awards. And now I'm trying to make something with Daniela, and you're coming in here and taking that from me too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's like all pissed off.
They talk about the breakup that they had 15 years ago. She lets him stay the night in the guest room. And the next morning, Jason has a fever. She cares for him. And that night they make dinner. And it's like her family's
recipe, like her great-grandmother's recipe.
Yeah.
And she's like, we only dated for a very short amount of time. And he's like, yeah, but let me prove it to you that I know you. And he starts listing ingredients, but not this and not that. And she's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
That night after dinner, Daniela comes into their room. They get frisky. And then there is loud knocking on the door, almost like police. And there's the man at the door starts calling Daniela's cell phone. And she's like, I'm in here alone. What do you want? Man breaks in and shoots Daniela all up in her face.
Between the eyes.
And Jason gets tied up. And he's heartbroken that she is, like, he dies.
It happens so fast.
It does. Like, just...
Yeah, he just breaks in. He sees Jason. Jason's like, don't hurt her. And he's like, pow, pow.
So then it switches.
Really traumatic.
It
really
was. It switches back into Daniela's inner monologue at the main storyline. And at a Cubs game with Jason 2 and Charlie, they have a beautiful day. That evening, she and Jason 2 go to dinner downtown. The chemistry between the two are different.
But even reading this, it's not like distinct that this, I mean, like you could tell because it's Daniela's perspective, right? She's like, something's different about Jason, but he's just Jason. He's not like Jason 2 yet.
No,
right?
no,
They
no.
start to refer to him as that, but.
When Daniela asks him if she thinks there is a different version of their lives where he's a famous scientist and she's a famous artist, he says, even if there is, he would rather be right there with her. Jason.
And then we jump into chapters 7 through 9, and it's back in Jason's narration. He wakes up in a cell chained to a metal bed frame. Leighton comes in wearing a tuxedo and apologizes for handling Jason so roughly. Jason decides to stay calm and pretend he's the version of himself they think he is. He's like, okay, if I'm going to make it out of here, I need to just kind of go with it so that I can start learning, because everybody thinks I'm amazing. So if I start asking questions, they're going to start telling me and kind of fill in the pieces for me, right? So it's like, I'm just going to go with it.
I've just lost my memory. Not that I'm this different person. And if they start to think I'm a different person, they might not be so nice to me.
Yes. So Leighton gives him a tour of the lab, and they pass the security door. They enter a hangar that houses a 12-foot metal box. So apparently after Jason won the Pavia Prize 11 years ago, Velocity gave him $5 billion to build the cube. They basically said, here's unlimited amount of money. What can you do with your amazing science background and knowledge on this theory that you have? Like, can you actually make it happen? And so they give him $5 billion. The concept is based on the thought of Schrodinger's cat, the idea that something can exist in paradoxical states until confirmed. So basically, they're like, you put this cat in a box, and it could be dead or alive, and whatever reality happens is whatever you actually observe. Otherwise, if you didn't observe it, then the rest of it is like another reality. It becomes reality because you saw it, but the other option is still there. You just didn't see it.
It's real confusing.
But that's kind of the gist of Schrodinger's cat, is that there's both realities, and whichever one is the one you observe is the one that becomes your reality.
Yes.
The other one is still there. You just didn't observe it. So that's a different path.
That's not your initial reality.
Yes.
But it could be a different reality.
Alternate reality.
Yes.
Yes. And that is sort of the gist of quantum mechanics. He shows Jason footage of him entering the box 14 months ago, then footage from 3 days ago showing up, stumbling out of the box, and collapsing on the floor. Jason is shown to a suite and logs into the laptop that shows his last 15 years of data, because he's like, what? Like, he remembers the theory. He's like, I remember creating this theory, but I was only able to create a small little box.
He did it was his,
like a prototype.
Yes, when he was in college with Daniela.
Yes. So he's like, it was this small prototype. Like, I don't understand how we were able to make this a reality. It was a theory. And he's like, well, here's your laptop and all of the data. Maybe this will help jog your memory. And so the next morning, the lab psychiatrist, Amanda Lucas, shows up, and she's bringing him coffee, and she's trying to assess his mental state. She's like, okay, so tell me what you remember. And he's like, I don't remember anything, because now he's trying to play the part.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's weird, because you said you remember going to the bar. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Or you had a wife. And
Yes.
a Charlie. And who are these people?
Yes. So after she leaves, Jason continues to read his notes and sees comments stating, we live in a 5-dimensional multiverse. Leighton leads Jason to an interview room. The guard that shot Daniela brings a beat up Ryan. So now they've kidnapped Ryan Holder, and he's like, wait, that's my friend.
They didn't kidnap him. That little bitch went to go tell him about
They saw him. Yes.
that he was sprouting out about different universes.
Yes.
So he went to go tattle on him, thinking it would elevate his stature in
Yes,
that
you're
company.
right.
He's such a douche.
Fuck Ryan.
Yes.
He's a dick in all the universes.
Seriously.
So Leighton thinks Jason is not the same person that went into the box. Refusing to talk, he is injected with something else. He wakes in a cell with Ryan and explains the multiverse. Jason realizes the man who abducted him is the version of him from this world. So he realizes that what we will call Jason 2 wanted Jason's life with Daniela and Charlie. Amanda arrives to break Jason from the cell. She tells him the only way out is to use the box. She's like, listen, I know that you're not crazy. I think that something else happened here, so I'm going to help you out.
Well, and he tells her, like, you guys killed Daniela. And she's like, no, we didn't.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're definitely losing your mind. And then
Yes.
she, like, does the research.
Yeah, she's like, this isn't what I signed up for. And so this is much different than it should be. So she helps him escape. They are pursued. As they're running through the lab, they enter the cube and inject themselves with a compound and pass out. They enter the box.
I mean, I think it just goes to show, like, there are some people that are like, we're killing people to protect this experiment and things.
This
And then there
scientific breakthrough.
Yes, like, we do not care. This guy knows too much now, and he must die.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they
And-
even say, like, you would be doing all of this to protect
Yeah.
your research too, because it's that important. Like, we have this huge scientific breakthrough, and you would typically be okay with what we're doing.
And he even's like, everyone that's in this would feel the same way. And then in walks Amanda, and she's like, I don't feel the same way.
Yeah, like I don't think this is
I think
good.
this is important, but nothing is worth killing other people over. And now I'm out.
So they inject themselves, and when they wake up, they are in an endless corridor of doors. It's just like a dark hallway filled with doors, and it's infinite. So they kind of just start walking, and after they walk about a mile, they choose an exit door that leads them into a world of ash. They're like, well, I guess we're just gonna have to pick one, so let's just open it and see what happens. And
the world's on fire.
the world is on fire. So they kind of walk in for a second, and they're like, absolutely not. And they go back into the cube, and they take another dose of the drug, because they start working through like, okay, it's going to last X amount of time. We have this much time to use it.
Yeah, it really only lasts like an
hour and a half or something, like 30 minutes to work. And then we get 60 minutes of time for it to work or whatever. The next door they choose is a charred forest. It's just another version of the world just totally on fire. So they wait 30 minutes and open the door and find the same scene. They realize that the box resets after each dose of the compound. So that what they try to go through the whole compound again, and then they open the door, and in this time they're in the hangar originally, and it's Jason and Amanda trying to escape the laboratory. Leighton and his men shoot them and kill them. They end up trying multiple
They
doors.
watch themselves die.
Yes, and
It's
Amanda
crazy.
is shooketh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she has a really hard time with it. So after that, they try multiple doors that all lead to something dangerous, and they finally are led into a sub-zero snowstorm. They barely make it to the house, and after breaking in, they find the family had starved to death. And the next day, Jason realizes that every reality that they step into is something that they're choosing. Their emotions and the state of mind alter the state of the world. So the next dose they take, they put themselves in a positive state of mind before the drug takes effect.
He like lets her open, like, you're going to open the door.
Like, your
This
turn.
is your brain making this next world.
Yeah, you tell us what's going to happen. So in the primary world, back where Jason was originally from, Daniela and Jason brush their teeth in the bathroom. They're sort of just living day to day like a normal life. Nothing has changed. Daniela realizes that Jason has completely changed since the night at the bar. He's more cerebral, and he's more lenient with Charlie and desires Daniela constantly. She knows something is off, but she just can't bring herself to ask. She's like, he dresses differently, like he makes the coffee less strong, so now she's got to like sneak downstairs and make the coffee because it's not good.
Yeah. Like before he makes it. 'Cause-
Yes.
Or like he's almost acting like a new dad, like he doesn't know how
Or
to
like
be
they're
a dad.
buddies.
And- yeah.
Like he doesn't treat him like a father.
Yeah. There's a lot of like little nuances that she's like,
Yes.
something's off.
Like you're the same, but not really.
But she also loves the feeling of new love again with
Yeah.
him. So she's like, do I ruin it and ask?
Yeah, right.
That's something that's not right.
Right.
Yeah.
So then we jump into my chapters 10 through 12. Amanda and Jason decide to write their desired destinations into a notebook. So they let Amanda open the door, and they emerge into this futuristic Chicago with a bullet train and crystal skyscrapers. And the train is like, everyone has a seat. They're not just like crammed onto this train.
Oh, and they're like, they
It's
get like strapped in.
Yes. And then it's like, is this your stop? And you're like, yes.
There's like
And
an
they,
AI
open-
interface that
Yeah.
sits in front of them, like swipe to the right if this is your stop.
Yeah. It's like Tinder, but for bus stops.
Swipe left if this is not it.
But it's like this dream of a reality. So then after exploring some, they decide to leave. And then after the next dose, Jason writes that he wants to go home. Before they leave the cube or the box, a naked, bloody Jason walks past them, which is so crazy. He is like running through the box with all the doors, and Jason 1 looks at him, and he just looks at him, and he's like, ah! And he does this like blood-curdling scream before he like runs off. It's really
This is what I would have done if I saw myself standing there. Like,
it does give real Rocks energy. So anyways, when they go to open the door, they emerge into a Chicago that is under 24-hour curfew due to a deadly plague. This is like zombie apocalypse. It's actually really sad. He finds this world's Daniela hideously disfigured. They like go to his house and she's disfigured by this disease. She's confused because she's telling Jason, like, you died and Charlie's dead upstairs.
They haven't come to get
They
him yet.
haven't
He's
come to
just
get him
rotting
yet.
up there.
It's really sad.
Yes.
And she's clearly dying.
Like she's bleeding from her eyes. Like
Yeah.
it was a foul
It
disease.
is
Yeah.
it's horrible. So a medical team arrives and they give Jason morphine to ease her suffering.
They're like, oh, once the blood comes, she's dead.
yeah, they're like, there's nothing we could do to save her. And he's like, take her to a hospital. And he's like, no, she's too far gone. And if we get too close, we can catch it. And so like, no, we're not going to go up there.
They're like,
She's
here,
got-
give her all of this morphine. It'll kill her.
Yeah, there's
quickly.
like 15 vials. She'll die in bliss.
Yeah.
And like, she's displaying the colors correctly in the window. So someone will be by to pick up the body soon. That's it. That's crazy. So
Oh, yeah,
Jason-
because like red flag for infected and a black flag for dead
dead.
body.
Yeah.
And if she had both in the window because
Yes.
she's infected and her son's dead.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't. All right. Jason and Amanda end up stealing a car and they're pursued by authorities as they return to the box. After taking a dose, they walk the corridor for an hour before Jason collapses into tears. He just witnessed his wife having to suffer through this horrible disease and his
And
son has
die.
died upstairs.
Yeah.
And he couldn't go into the house and do anything about it.
Because he walked in and like grabbed a blanket, but he contemplated going up to go see him. And he was
Yes.
like, no. He talked himself out of it. Like, you cannot go up
It's
there.
like, what if I
Yeah.
bring this plague back and I die before I see my
Yes.
Daniela again?
Yes, this is not. He has to like remind himself, this is not my Daniela.
And he just witnessed his wife die twice, essentially.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
once with a
Shot,
bullet hole through the
yeah.
eyes, like right between the eyes, and now by this terrible plague,
Yes.
he's just lost all emotional control.
Absolutely. So then he awakes and he's in Amanda's arms. They try to arrive at his world. Like he's focusing on small, specific details. And again, all the things he's writing down is like what the world looked like and what the, like, this is what I want it to be like. And I'm married and I have a child and I, whatever. And
And
he's
there's
trying
like
to
a
remember all these
chip in my
details.
coffee cup. And it was like really
Yes.
insignificant details that he's like, this will bring me home.
Yes. They're down to 32 doses of the compound and they split those. They have to split those. So 32 doses split amongst both of them. They have been to 4 versions of Chicago that are almost home, but not quite. They decided to get a hotel room to rest and clean up. He goes to a local bar and the bartender does not recognize him. It's his bar and he knows the server, but the server doesn't recognize him at all. So Jason feels like he is losing his emotional connection to his world. He wakes to Amanda in his bed and asks her to go back to her own bed because he's like, I could give into this.
Yeah.
Like I'm losing that connection with my world. I could give into this because there's potential I'm never going to see my Daniela again. But then he decides to stay strong, which you know there's another version of himself who did not stay strong.
Exactly. Every decision has a
Ho,
split path.
there was a ho Jason out there.
There was like, I'm choosing Amanda, baby. They have 24 doses left now. They have visited many worlds with different outcomes. Jason or his wife died. Like some of them, Jason is actually dead in, and then some of them, he's a widower. Daniela doesn't know him at all in some lives. And after many attempts, they are down to 16 doses. In an eerily similar world, Jason sees Daniela inside her home. He calls from a prepaid phone and tells her he loves her. And they have like this like little conversation because in this world, it's like almost right, but she's a graphic designer. And it's like, oh, that's not my Daniela. So he's like calls her. They have a conversation where he pretends to be, and he can see through the window that she's pregnant and Charlie is going to have a sibling. And I think he starts to kind of even think like, I can understand why the other Jason did what he did.
Oh, yeah.
Because looking out the window, it could be so easy to just
Kill that Jason
slip
and
in.
step in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he almost considers this world like maybe this is as good as it's gonna get.
And I'm okay
Yeah,
with that.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I should probably like I could kill him and just do the things. He's like, I've been thinking awful things all
Yeah.
day because he was gone all freaking day.
Yeah,
And Amanda was
and
pissed.
like watching them and following them. Like, what kind of life are you leading together?
Yes.
Yeah. So he stays out all day following Danielle and Jason. He returns to the hotel eventually to find Amanda. She's furious because she couldn't get a hold of him.
They don't
She's
have
like,
cell
you've been
phones."
Gone all day.
She thought he died.
Yeah.
Or,
She's like,
or
you
left
can't do
him,
that.
or left her.
Yeah. He knows that they don't have many chances left, but he doesn't know what else to do. So Jason wakes in the hotel alone. Amanda left a note along with 8 doses of the compound, so like his half and half of their money and the backpack. And in her note, she basically is like, you need to refocus what you're putting in your notebook, because it's not about the physical things that are in your world. It's about the feelings you have.
The connection.
And the connections you have. In the next world, Daniela doesn't even exist. And then the next world, he's attacked and he loses all his money and some of the doses. Like these kids, like these gangbanger kids, attack him and they take some of his stuff. And then he like gets back into the box. He goes into the next world. He starts begging for money. He's like almost given up. He's homeless. He's like letting himself go. He's just begging for money, going from one place to the next, and uses some money for a train ride. He sleeps in an alley for many nights. One night he gets drunk and he enters the Dessen home and he stands in the bedroom watching Daniela and Jason sleep. Like he's for sure
Losing
obsessed, right?
Yeah.
Like he's
Yes.
obsessed with this. And same with Jason, the other Jason, like he's clearly living another life and thinking, I want to go back to Daniela. And I feel like it's a little obsessive.
Yeah.
He considers killing this Jason, but realizes he would feel guilty. And like, how would I get rid of the body? And then there would be questions if it was found. And he starts like really taking a turn. In his notebook, Jason finally writes about the night that he met Daniela. He has 1 dose left, and he talks about the feelings that he had when he saw Daniela and how she was, you know, being berated by some man who was hitting on her. And he walked up like, hey, honey, I'm so sorry. I, got you a drink or whatever. And she's like, oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah, she
And
saves him. He saves her from like
Yeah.
a other
Yes.
douchebag.
Yes, and he talks about the feeling that he had, like she was all he saw on that night, and the love that he had for her almost immediately. So Jason has 1 dose left. He walks the endless corridor in the box. He hopes to find the door that takes him to his Daniela. He takes a deep breath and he opens the door.
And then we jump into the last chapters, 13 through 15. Jason appears in an abandoned power plant. On the ground, he sees cracked ampules and wonders if this is where the other Jason, Jason 2, took him the first time he went into the box. As he travels north, he realizes this is his Chicago. And standing outside his house, he sees Jason 2 pouring Daniela a glass of wine. He floods with rage and wonders if Daniela and Charlie are happier. Like, should I just leave? What was all this
Like
for?
this man was a better scientist than me. Maybe he's a better father and husband than I am too.
Wrong. So Jason checks into a nearby hotel. He plans to kill Jason 2 and bury him in a state park. And it's like, this is the state park where me and Charlie and Daniela go and picnic. So it's very apt that I bury him there. So when he goes to shop for a handgun, the woman behind the counter looks at him strangely and tells him that he was in the same store 2 days ago. And they had the same conversation. She's like, really don't remember me? And then another employee.
She's like pissed. Like, what are you trying to pull here, Jason?
Yeah.
I know who you are, Jason Dessen. You don't have an ID? Oh, surprise, surprise.
You told me that 2 days ago.
But then another employee is like, I've seen his ass here 3 different times. And the woman gets scared. She's like, something's wrong with you, guy. You need to leave and not come back.
Yeah, she's like, we're definitely not going to sell you a
Yeah.
gun. Like, you're clearly in a not the right mental state. Like,
Yeah.
you should not have a gun.
So Jason goes to another hotel and goes online to their business center because he's like, there's other Jasons here because I wasn't here.
Yeah.
This other Jason too wouldn't have come 5 times. He finds an email account for Ace and J Dessen Day.
He creates it and it's like, sorry, this name's already taken.
There's a link to a chat with 8 other Jasons. Jason is assigned the username Jason9, and the chat history shows all of the Jasons discussing plans to kill each other to be with Daniela. Jason7 sends him a private message asking him to team up, and he panics and like gets out of the chat and goes back to his room.
And then he starts to.
What a crazy, like, revelation. Like,
There's a million
I'm
Jasons.
Jason 9?
Yeah.
I'm Jason 1, goddammit.
Right?
So all Jasons, but Jason 2 originated in this world. So the way it was described is like every time he made a different decision, another Jason is born at that moment. So they shared the same past up until that decision was made.
Until he woke up in the box naked or whatever, and they like picked him up on a gurney. Like from that moment on.
He struggles with the concept that he should be the only one. Like, who am I of all of these Jasons to get to have her and Charlie. So then his hotel phone rings, and with only silence on the other end, he then realizes another Jason may be trying to find him, and how would I find myself and what would I do? So he runs out of his room, and as he's getting out, he sees 2 other Jasons, one down one hallway with a gun and one with a knife. He escapes to a dive bar and sees another Jason scanning the crowd. Over an hour later, a different Jason passes by, relieved to find that this one particular Jason in passing is not trying to kill him. He looks at all of their eyes and he's like, this Jason just looks desolate. He's cool.
Yeah.
Jason plans to get Daniela and Charlie away from Jason 2. He contemplates how to outsmart himself. With almost no money left and unable to go back to his room, he heads to Humboldt Park, and he realizes that doing random, unpredictable things is the key to beating the other versions of himself. Jason then goes to a diner, and after finishing his meal, he lights a cigar. The waitress and manager ask him to extinguish it, and he refuses and is arrested. At the station, he requests a phone call. When Daniela answers, he tells him to bring Charlie to come bail him out. When Daniela arrives, his disheveled appearance shocks her.
Yeah, 'cause she's like, you left this morning and you didn't have a beard.
Yeah.
Like, what? And you're so skinny. Like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. To convince her she is living with another Jason, he asks Daniela to call Jason 2, and he answers, and he's like, tell him that you want to go back to the Florida Keys, that you loved our vacation over Christmas. And she's like, we didn't go to the Florida Keys. He's like, I know. He'll agree with you.
Yeah.
So
he
she does.
doesn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, whatever you want, honey. I'll take you back to the
He's
Keys.
like, of course. And then
course.
she gets even more specific. Like, I really love to stay in that same house with the pink door and the blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, absolutely. I loved that house too.
Yeah. And she's terrified. They call a taxi. They go to pick up Charlie at his school. Then they head to a mall. And Jason tells them all that happened to him. And then Jason and Daniela empty all their bank accounts. They rent a car and they drive to Wisconsin. The Jasons keep texting Daniela from different numbers. Like, all the Jasons, 1 through 50, are texting Daniela.
They're like, we need to talk. You're not safe.
Yeah.
Take
Meet
Charlie.
me at blah, blah, blah. Make sure. Yeah, exactly.
Jason has them turn off their cell phones, her and Charlie. And on the drive, Jason still struggles with the idea of why he is the individual that gets to live out his life with his family. They find a boarded up lake house and go inside and settle in for the night. Charlie assures Jason, the other Jason is not my dad.
Yeah.
He clearly is not my dad.
Like, it felt weird. It didn't feel like you, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
Right?
But now I know. Now I can tell.
Definitely
He is-
not my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniela insists that she wants him, not the other Jasons, and she's crying, asking about how she can know which Jason is hers. And after Daniela and Charlie go to sleep, Jason logs into an old computer and enters the Jason chat room. There are now over 100 Jasons, but he tells them that he has Daniela and Charlie and that they are safe. Then he proposes that they all meet at the power plant in 2 days and hold a lottery for who gets the family, and then they will destroy the box.
Because he's like, all of us have the same goal in mind. We want Daniela and Charlie to be safe and happy. So let's all go and...
So who am I to choose to be with them?
Yeah.
I think I'm a little more selfish than that. I'd be like, no, motherfucker, these are my this is my family.
I
but
was
I
the
think
original one, damn it.
Yeah, but I mean, but all of them are, right? Like, so I can see why he's like, we're all the original. We should all love Daniela the same. It's his first original line of thought. Like, we all just want Daniela and Charlie to be safe. Let's figure it out. Yeah.
So in the morning, Daniela brings Jason coffee, and they both share that they slept with different versions of themselves. Jason starts asking, like, did you sleep with him? And she's like, oh, Jason. He's like, I have to know.
He's like, I don't want to know, but I have to know.
Yeah. And then
Was it as good as me?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, was it good?
she was like, well, yeah.
She was like, yeah, it was
you.
actually.
It
but
was like our first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she does the same thing, like, oh, did you sleep with the other me? And he was like, yeah.
He's like, but I didn't know what was happening at the time. Like, I wasn't aware that it wasn't that version of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they like kind of poke at each other like, oh, so if it's another version of me,
It's okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's still you.
It's not cheating if it's just a multiverse.
Yeah,
You.
version of you. Yeah.
So then Jason tells her his plan, and she's horrified. She's like, I don't want to be with anyone else. I want you, Dip Doodle.
And she talks about even like how
I
she
don't get a
struggled with
choice.
it, but at the same time, like, I've been thinking about it, and our meeting was very much, I didn't go to parties. You weren't really a partier. We were fated to meet that night, and I feel like you finding me That's us, our fate coming together again. And now you have me. I want you. I only want you.
But then the plan to have a lottery, she said something like, what am I, like a fucking fruit basket? Like I'm the fruit basket prize?
She didn't say that.
So they eat breakfast with Charlie, and at dinner, Jason and Daniela get drunk, and they make love as if it was the first time. So after going to Pound Town, Jason goes down to the kitchen and sees something outside. It's one of the Jasons. He's wounded and dying. Back in the house, he tells Daniela and Charlie to pack up, like, there's Jasons afoot.
They found us.
And so upstairs, there's another Jason holding a gun. That Jason has already killed 4 other Jasons, and the original Jason attacks him and they wrestle. The new Jason drops dead as they hear a gunshot.
There's like many Jasons all in one room.
Yes.
No,
Everybody
it's 2 Jasons.
No, I know, but they kill a Jason and then another Jason comes out.
There's a Jason that's dead over here.
Yeah.
He's killed 4.
Yes.
This Jason, but he has like this realization that if you're willing to pull out a gun and potentially shoot me and put our son in harm, you're not the same Jason I am.
Yeah. So Jason 2 is standing near them with a gun in hand. Jason 2 killed new Jason. He's wearing Jason's clothes and his wedding ring. He's like, you're the fucker that drugged me.
Jason 2.
That started this all.
Yes. He's like, I tracked Charlie's phone on their location. And Charlie's like, I had to text my girlfriend. I was okay. I'm so sorry. I didn't want her to think I was blowing her off.
Yeah. Such
Fucking-
a 15-year-old thing to
fucking
do.
teenagers.
God damn it, Charlie.
So pointing the gun at Jason, Charlie distracts him. And then Jason is able to stab him repeatedly in the stomach.
He gets real violent.
As Jason 2 is dying, he gives back his wedding ring and he tells him to look in the glove box of his SUV. They find a leather pouch with a supply of ampules.
Yeah, Jason 2 is like, all right, here.
You got me, motherfucker. Here you go.
This is how you're going to get out.
You win.
Yeah.
So they drive to the power plant and find dozens of Jasons have come from the lottery. I just imagine this like sea of Jasons.
Yeah.
And like so many that I feel like if I were to be in public seeing all these people walk to this building, I'd be like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So Daniela takes out the gun and she, Jason, and Charlie force their way into the box. She's like, all right, motherfuckers, get out of our way.
Yeah. Could you imagine being the woman where there's like hundreds of the same man but slightly different versions of all
And they're all
trying to
obsessed
flock
with
to
you?
like, please, Daniela, love me. Yeah. I'd be like, what the
What is happening?
Yeah.
Shots fired, bitch. So they go inside the box and Jason administers a dose to each of them and they walk through the endless corridors. Daniela asks what will happen if the Jasons follow them, but Jason says that Charlie will pick their destination. So the other Jasons won't be able to predict or replicate. And he's like, I can't pick the next door. You can't pick the next door because there's a chance they can think like you and find us. But they're not going to guess Charlie. They didn't raise Charlie. Charlie is nervous, but Jason tells him not to worry. It's going to be fine as long as we're together. And then Jason tells Charlie he loves him, he's proud of him, and Charlie opens the door to a world filled with warmth and light, and the 3 of them walk through the door. And that's where we end.
And then it just ends.
Dark matter.
Literally, I was like, oh. And then like the next thing came on and it was
Thank
like,
you for choosing
Yeah, and I was like, what the hell? It's over?
Yeah.
It was so sudden.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because it was like action packed. And then all of a sudden,
It's just...
end. Yeah.
I mean, it had to end. The action
I
had
know,
to die out
I
somewhere.
know.
So we do everything on a 3-shot rating system. 1 shot is I'm not coming back for more. 2 shots, it's good enough for another, but not worth a hangover. And 3 shots, it got me up. All right, Rox, what was your shot rating?
I am struggling with this because I did really like it. I'm going to go 3. I'm going to go 3 shots.
Right with your heart. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Next week, join us as Rox removes your 3-shot rating.
I was into it the whole time. I don't think there was a moment where I was kind of bored. I think I really, like I said, it was action packed and all of a sudden it ended and I was like, wait, what? That was it? Like it really caught me off guard because I was so into the book.
Oh, well, good. Good. What about you?
I'm going to give it a 2. I thought it was a solid book and I was intrigued. I know we've talked about this with other books where like if the ending isn't solidified and there's like multiple options, I don't mind it. You guys hate it. I don't have that same feeling if it is within life. Like I don't want infinite answers or infinite possibilities about the things I'm choosing in life.
That was the whole point of the book.
I don't mind it in a book
Yeah.
because I can close the book and the
And it is what it is.
ambiguity lives in the book. I don't like that in life.
But this is a book.
I know. I'm just saying
okay,
the
okay.
idea,
Okay.
The concept of it, you
concept
did not
of it.
enjoy.
No.
Because it makes you anxious?
Yes.
Okay.
But I still think it was a good book. It was action packed. I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, but I would recommend it probably to a few.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 2. So I'm going to go more into this next week during our questions, but I totally thought it was a different book for almost half of the book. Was waiting for something to happen that truly never happened. I was very confused. So I think that's a little bit why I'm hesitant to give it a 2 and because I think part of my experience was just I was right like the drink. I had this expectation of what it was going to be, and then I tasted it, and I was like, wow!
Yeah.
And it's not that bad. It just caught me off guard. I didn't know, right? And there was so much of the book that I really thought was a different book. But I did enjoy it, and I did like it. So I think 2. I'm giving it a 2.
Okay.
I'm absolutely learning that sci-fi I enjoy, fantasy I do not, which
is so weird because...
But
They're two sides of the same coin.
yes, but I'm learning that like the fantasy... I don't know what's so different about it that I don't like.
But like Dungeon Crawler Carl, while I wouldn't say fantasy, it's definitely fantasy adjacent.
I feel like Dungeon Crawler is the epitome of blending sci-fi. Actually, not even sci-fi.
No.
It's gaming and fantasy which gaming is fantasy.
Yeah, but I think, I
Have
don't
you
know.
ever played Spyro? That's a fucking dragon.
Yeah, that's true though. But I mean, like a lot of it is fantastical fantasy. So I think that it's the whole, like, I don't know. I was gonna say it's the whole world building I know that you don't like, but Dungeon Crawler for sure, every book is a different world that they're building.
And you know what? I think Dungeon Crawler Carl is just really well written.
Yeah.
So I think that makes a huge difference.
for sure.
But as I was going through this book, I was like, yeah, sci-fi I'm into.
Maybe fantasy less the romance. I mean, this one had a little bit of romance, but it wasn't like a romance
But
sci-fi.
I like the romance books.
Maybe you need more urban fantasy.
Maybe.
Not so much
urban fantasy.
dragons, but like things that feel like
A little
they're
bit realistic,
based in,
kind of.
like this is based in Chicago, so
Yeah.
like it's based in an actual place.
I was thinking like Big Hero 6.
Exactly. How do you feel about Big Hero 6?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
It's cute. You should watch it.
But
But
yeah,
it
so
is.
that was what I was thinking. Like,
All
as
right,
I was
yeah.
going through this, like, I think maybe sci-fi is my
Is your
thing.
jam?
Yeah.
That's a wrap on this episode of Literature on the Rocks. We unpacked Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, a story that somehow manages to make you question your life choices, your identity, and whether you should ever get into a mysterious box. Prompts are posted now, so go answer them before the next week's book club, and make sure you're subscribed because we're here for you every Wednesday.
Yep, if dark matter taught us anything, it's that there may be countless versions of our lives, but the people we love are what make this version worth choosing. So if that made you feel good, go ahead and rate and review the podcast. It helps us keep exploring stories that challenge us to think a little deeper about who we are and how we got here.
Somewhere in another universe, you're having this exact conversation with a different version of us. Luckily, in this timeline, you can keep the bookish fun going by following @LitOnTheRocksPod on Instagram and TikTok and visiting literatureontherocks.com.
Until next time, may you appreciate the life you've got, avoid suspicious warehouses, and stay in the timeline with the best cocktails. Cheers!
Toodaloo.
Bye.